Perfect, perfect. Toss up one for any player. This company produced its first car with the chassis of Lotus Elise, and one of its vehicles became the first production car to be launched into space aboard a Falcon Heavy rocket. That car, that's correct. That's correct for six. Toss up two. In Act 2 of this opera, a stage band plays music from Vicente Martin y Soler's Una Cosa Rara before quoting music from its composer's own The Marriage of Figaro. In Act 1, the protagonist of this opera tries to woo Zerlina, and Leporello serves the title character of this opera. That's correct. Four, six. All right, toss up three. One soldier with this surname, alongside Samuel Prescott and Paul Revere, warned Minutemen, that's incorrect, of a British approach to Concord. This surname was also borne by a man whose support for the McNary Hog and Farm Relief Bill led Charles Curtis to be chosen over him as a running mate. That man of this name won the 1925 Nobel Peace Prize for his plan to stagger German war reparations, belonging to a man who proposed an 1887 act to subdivide Native American land. That's correct. That's correct for four. All right, toss up four. Regions crucial to the formation of this cellular structure are known as NORs and can be found on acrocentric chromosomes. If this structure becomes too prominent, it is a sign of cellular atypia and can be indicative of cancerous transformation. A region of dense chromatin, this structure contains genes that encode ribosomal RNA and is involved in ribosome assembly, the largest structure.
Nucleolus?
That's correct. Correct. 4 or 5 points. Right, toss up number 5. In this work, the author's vision of a model human being is thought to be depicted through the character Konstantin Levin. This.
Anachrony?
That's correct for 6. Toss up number 6. Members of this ethnic group inhabited the homelands of Transkei and Siskay, and many residents of East London are members of this. That's correct for 6. All right, toss up 7. Notes from lectures by this man at the University of Cambridge were compiled in the Blue and Brown books. In one of this man's most important works, he distinguished the concepts of seeing that and seeing as through the now famous duck rabbit illusion. The author of Tractatus Logico Philosophicus and that's correct. That's correct for 5 points.
When was 6 ended?
6 ended after duck rabbit illusion. Also 8. In this 1952 novel, one character drops his glass eye into a tumbler during a fierce debate, and the narrator of this work is hospitalized after Lucius Broadway. That's correct for 6.
Wait, no. What was the answer?
Oh, that's incorrect.
Invisible Man.
I'll just fill the question and then just read it. Okay. He's on URL. That's my bad. Extra question for anyone else. This author's Isaac Bickerstaff persona served as.
Swift.
That's correct.
That's like a tire. At least that's there.
I love Bickerstaff. Right, toss up 9. The final campaign of this conflict can be translated as Campaign of the Hills, at which the Count of A.O. led an allied victory at the battles of Bowie and Aucustinu. Earlier, the Duke of Cash.
Where the triple lies.
That's correct for 6. Alright, 10 afterwards for square check. This functionality is the last part of the interactive top-level sequence, which begins with reading, then evaluating, and ends with producing output. Typesetting programs have the pretty form of this functionality, nicely formatting mathematical expressions, and in C, a method for this functionality uses a format string with symbol specifiers for integers and strings, allowing a programmer to output. That's incorrect. Output strings like hello world for the points. What is this functionality? Correct. Yeah, that's correct.
What's for 4?
Yeah, 3. Then after check.
So after 10, I have Suchet at 26, Miller at 14, Arnav at 3, and Ishan at 6.
All right.
Ishan,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we
That was
have
on a day question. Oh, I missed
The,
that.
the yeah.
You're right. So. You're right. Yeah, you shot at 4. Okay, I'll do it. Suchet at 20. Or 20. Okay. Suchet at 26, Miller at 14, Arnav at 3, and Ishan.
Okay. Toss up 11. In 2002, this structure had post-tensioning cables installed by Robert Silman to arrest the progressive deflection of its lowest concrete terrace. During construction, Walter Hall added additional steel reinforcement in the main floor beams of this structure, beyond the orders of the architect. Commissioned by the owner of a Pittsburgh department store in Stewart Township, Pennsylvania, for the points. That's correct. That's correct. Third floor. Oh. Well, this empire was established following the Ghurid conquest of northern India by its first ruler, Qutb ud Din. That's correct. 13. This rotational quantity is decreased for a grain of dust due to the Poynting-Robertson effect, and the change in this quantity. That's incorrect. And this quantity is related to its time derivative and torque. This quantity can be written as the position vector crossed by another vector equal to mass times velocity. And that's correct. That's correct for class. 14. An early work by this author titled Freshwater depicted Alfred Lord Tennyson and featured the author's great aunt Julia Margaret Cameron as its protagonist. This woman co-founded the Hogarth Press. Wolf. Correct. Correct for 6.
Yes. That's an easy
15.
No.
Following the resignation of a predecessor, this politician participated in a leadership election, defeating Shinjiro Koizumi. Following that victory, that's incorrect. This politician lost the support of Komeito Party leader Tetsuo Saito, resulting in that party leaving its government coalition. This politician's country has been in a diplomatic crisis with China since 2020. That's correct. That is correct. 4 or 5. Also 16. This process is commonly used in complexometric forms of this laboratory process, and graphs used in this process are often analyzed using grand plots. This process was popularized after an invention by Antoine-Henri Desquoisier was redesigned into simpler form by Carl Friedrich Mohr. This process, also known as volumetric analysis, often makes use of a burette. That's correct. That's correct for 5. 17. A young boy in this painting who brandishes 2 pistols inspired.
Liberty.
That's correct for 6.
That puts you at 38. So our score is 40.
Right. Also 18. This man oversaw the implementation of Plan Dalet in 1948, and during his country's first elections, this man's Mapai party won the largest number. That's correct. That's correct for 6. Toss of 19. The descending slab in this process creates deep trenches and fuels explosive volcanic arcs like the Aleutians and the Andes. That's correct for 6. And 28, after which we'll score check. This character claims that he will sink with his nose to the sunrise if he does not reach one location. This character challenged Eustace Scrub to a fencing duel, and this character, who is remembered as a valiant combatant during the Second Battle of Verona, sails aboard the Dawn Treader.
Aslan?
That's incorrect. This character's ancestors were blessed with speech after gnawing away the ropes binding Aslan to the stone table. For the points, name this chivalrous chief moose of Narnia. That's incorrect. It's time. Rikishi. Rikishi.
It's minus one.
So, after 20, I have Suchet at 36, Cameron at 4, Taylor at 9, Miller at 28, Arnav at 8, and Ishan at 4.
Perfect. 21. Following this rebellion, College of William and Mary President Thomas Roderick Dew published a defense of slavery, and many slave states. That's correct. That's correct for 6. 22. This scientist collaborated with Frederick Soddy at McGill University to develop the theory of radioactive disintegration, which explained radioactive decay and defined the half-life. This scientist proposed that radioactive elements transmute into other elements over time. Correct. Correct for 6. Wow. Alright, 23. Lots of time left. This artist's only sculpture used Marie van Houten as inspiration and was titled Little Dancer of 14 Years.
The ghost.
That's correct. Correct for 6. Alright, 24. On the shores of this lake, the Dodi Princess was the only cruise ship in its country, and Albert Kitson advocated for development of the basin of this lake for resource extraction. Created by the Akosombo Dam, this lake. That's correct. Correct for 6. Also 25. These devices, due to a 1905 patent, are considered to have been invented by Alfred Bucke, and earlier examples of these devices were made to compensate for reduced power of planes at higher altitudes. Intercoolers are often used alongside these devices, and the use of twin scrolls can reduce lag associated with these devices, powered via turbine driven by exhaust gas, used to force induction to an engine. That's incorrect. Induction to an engine and often found in modern automobiles. For the points, what are these devices?
Like engines?
Prompt.
Engine?
Correct. That's time. Turbo. We could have accepted turbocharger or turbo supercharger. Turbo left. Okay. That's 26. Plan to include 8 books. This series will have its 6th book released in October of 2026, and when this book series was written, the book of Exodus inspired the character Miriam, while Ricen and the Night Court draw on broader mythological influences. In the first book of this series, the main character, Feyre, is taken to the land of the Feyre, Prithian, where she becomes High Fae. Growing in popularity due to TikTok, for the points, what is this fantasy romance series by Sarah J. Maas? That's time. A Court of Thorns and Alright, it's also 27. This group was legally established by the Letitia and was earlier disputed by a sibling of one of its members, Lucius Antonius, during the Perusine War. This group began dissolving after the last strong opposition to them, Sextus Pompey, was defeated by one of its members, and this group earlier avenged an assassination by winning the Battle of Philippi.
The second triumvirate.
That's correct for 5. Right, also 28. This author composed Responsio ad Lutherum in response to Martin Luther's attack on the Assertio Septem Sacramentorum of the King of England. The setting of another work by this author was originally supposed to be called Nosquama, but this author later changed it to the Greek-influenced term Utopia. Becoming a saint after being executed by Henry VIII for treason. For the points, who was this writer and theologian? That's time. Thomas More.
You have 2 questions left. have Cameron at 4, Taylor at 12, Arnav at 7, and Ishan at 10. So third place is anyways.
Alright. Toss of 29. During this historical period, Gongsun-do declared independence and a restricted kingdom. That's correct for 6. Toss of 30, the last of this round. According to the Giltagining, this deity married Nana, with whom he is said to have a son, Forseti. That work also states that nothing is more beautiful than this deity's hall, great doublet, and that no ship is larger than his Kringhorni Val. A brother of this deity was born at the end of his that's incorrect, of his life to avenge his murder, killed by a mistletoe arrow in a steam by the time by Loki, who tricked Otter for the points. Who is this Norse deity? That's time Balder.
Everyone, quiet down, quiet down.
Words will be held in Orlando N. So after this round, if you could make your way down there, that would be great. And then scores after the round.
So at final score, we have Miller with first, getting out on question at 22, Jen at second, to 23. Taylor at third, Cameron at 6.